Hi everyone. Alright, so I'm having to cover my head because it's kind of breezy out here today, and otherwise nobody's gonna hear anything I'm gonna say today. I love the bright sunshine, but unfortunately, because of the breeze, it will still my voice. So, let's see, what are we gonna talk about today? Living in your authenticity. That sounds like a good one. Being authentic to yourself first. It's always to yourself first. Being true to yourself, being authentic to yourself, no matter what's happening in your life. And yes, even on the days that, it feels very chaotic, how are you going to handle those days? Are you going to take your day that you're having a bad day or whatever you want to call it and throw it on somebody else, to kind of help fix you? Or are you going to sit with those emotions, those feelings, and yes, they're uncomfortable, but are you going to sit with that and ask yourself, why am I feeling this? What is this emotion hiding? What is this feeling hiding? Or are you going to project that to somebody else? For me, I sit with it. I try to sit with it alone, in silence. I normally don't communicate with anybody while I'm dealing with that, or if it's something really deep and heavy, I will reach out to certain people to let them know, hey, this is what I'm dealing with today, just in case I need to feel like somebody's present, like somebody's there, because the old version of me wouldn't do that. I would pick up my phone and I would look at my phone, and the first thought that would pop in my head would be, there's nobody on the other side of this phone that cares what's happening. And the new me is there are people out there that have a heart, that do care, that if I'm going through something, they want to know so they can help support me. So there's a huge contrast between the old me and the new me. Old me would not reach out to anybody, would just completely, in a sense, shut the outside world out and just sit within myself, because I believe that people didn't care. They didn't give a crap about what was happening to me because they had their own issues. And new me is just no, the right people actually do care. They want to be there. They want to help you. They want to support you. They help you to focus when you're in that mode, to bring you back to that space of being within yourself, being within your own heart, to know that it's okay. It's okay to feel the way you're feeling. It's okay to be walking through that moment, and they know that it's a difficult moment, and they hold that sacred space for you. And then there's others that when you're in the thick of it, in the muck of going through releasing these deep emotions or deep memories of pain and sorrow that have just been stuck inside of you, where they show their true colors. They show that they really don't care, and they're not really your supporters. They've just been kind of, maybe they're going through it too, and instead of just saying, hey, I'm having a day myself, they decide to throw something at you that makes what you're dealing with in that very moment even harder to deal with. And I get it. I get it on both sides of that fence. I've been there. I always choose to be open about something, because if somebody reaches out to me and I'm going through something, I will listen to them, but I will also tell them, yeah, I feel you right now. I'm going through something dark, deep, heavy, whatever it is. And then there's other people who are in my life right now, like physically in my life, that they can walk into the same room with me and they look at me and they're like, are you okay? And old me used to be like, yeah, I'm fine, and just walk away. New version of myself that has learned these lessons start to say, I'm fine, and then I'm like, I'm not fine. I'm not okay. I've got stuff that I'm dealing with right now that you probably can't comprehend or understand, but just letting you know that I'm working on something, to purge it. And it's just being honest. It's being honest with yourself, not lying to yourself about that you're going through something in the first place. And being able to share with somebody. I mean, you don't have to go into complete detail about what you're dealing with. But on that note too, sometimes you can have physical experiences happening to you that make absolutely no sense. So what I mean by that, like, I'll share this little story with you. So last week, I was sitting on my bed, and it was not too long after I woke up. I was sitting on my bed, and I just felt like this really heavy, I don't know if it was emotions or what, but it just felt heavy on my chest. Like a weight being pushed down on my chest. And I was like, okay, this isn't comfortable. I don't know what's coming to the surface, but obviously something is wanting to be released that I've been holding on to. And as I sat there and just started to breathe and just feel into myself, the next sensation that came up made absolutely no sense whatsoever. And it started to kind of freak me out, because it felt like I was drowning while I was sitting on my bed. I could feel my lungs like filling up from the bottom coming to the top of my lungs, but there was nothing there. Okay? There was absolutely nothing there. And it freaked me out, but I also knew, okay, whatever's happening is not necessarily happening. This is some very deep emotional wound that is coming to the surface to be released, and I have to sit with it. But it started to produce some fear, because it felt like I was drowning without drowning. And I know that might not make any sense to some of you, but I'm sharing this information with you because if anything like this happens to you, then you know kind of like what to do. And I just sat with my hands on my heart, breathing. And I got to a point where I decided to reach out to 2 people. And I guess that they were busy. Normally they get back to me right away, but they were busy. Or something was probably going on with them too. And 2 other people stepped in and messaged me out of the blue. And one was a lady that I've just recently met through a consciousness group that I joined. She just reached out of the blue, just started talking to me. Hi. And she was just like asking me how my day was going, and normally I don't share stuff like that with people, and that day I decided, yeah, I needed to share because I needed some support. And so I was sharing with her about how I was having a difficult time breathing. I felt like I was drowning, but I was sitting on my bed, and she immediately was just started to support me. She's like, can I send you healing energy? Can I, And I was like, yes, because I felt love coming from her, that she was actually there to support me. And then another person that I talked to messaged me, and I ended up telling him what was going on, because he's very spiritual too. And so he was there to support me. And it was weird. It lasted for maybe half hour, 45 minutes to an hour, where I just felt almost like I was drowning, but nothing was happening. Like I wasn't, because I was sitting on my bed, and I wasn't drinking water. There was no water around me. So for that to be happening, I knew that it was something that was extremely deep, stuck in my body, that was surfacing and wanted to be healed, recognized, and released. And then there was somebody who I was very, very close to, kind of like reached out to me after they got the message, but instead of letting me know, like, hey, everything's gonna be okay, or hey, are you doing okay, because I got your message a while ago, and I'm just checking on you. Instead, it was like something of my past, which this person was never in my past, started getting thrown in my face. And it was like, I'm not dealing with that right now. I'm dealing with something that was completely different. And it dealt with things that were coming up through generational lines. I was clearing out, like most people call them generational curses, just generational chains, whatever you want to call it. It was generational stuff that was coming up that I was clearing out from both my mother and father's side. And I wanted support from people that I cared about, that I showed my love to. And instead, I got something else that was completely different, that I thought was handled and dealt with like 2 weeks ago. And I had moved on, because I'm a fast learner. Once I learn something, I learn a mistake, I clear it out of me, I move forward, I leave that, it's gone. And here they were trying to bring me back into a past version of myself that no longer exists, that I had healed from. And so some people can't comprehend how fast I can heal and clear things out of me to move to the next thing that needs to be cleared out. And in the process, I'm also helping other people to do their healing, their cleansing, their clearing. So every time we release something, we become a new authentic version of ourselves. And that's where we have to look at things, is being in the present, the right here, the right now, not the past, not the future, the present. And yes, we can energetically, if you know how to do it, go into all three. But it's learning to be in the present, because the present is where we're at. That's where we're healing from situations, emotions, pain and suffering from our past. We can heal it in the now, and it trajects us forward into our future. But anyway, it's sticking with your authenticity, not letting people tell you who you are in the present, because you know who you are, and that is also learning emotional maturity as you're growing. And some people, we're going to outgrow them, and others will walk with us for a long time. And yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you guys, that if you're having an off day, that it's okay to have an off day. Everybody does. Not every day is going to be sunshine and rainbows and, beautiful things. There's going to be some overcast, some shadows, and some darkness. But it's how you sit with yourself and deal with it and come out of it that, is showing you who you are now, how strong you've become in the now, and what you've learned from, and anybody who wants to take you back into your past, that wants to show you your mistakes from your past, they're not helping you to grow into your future. And it could be that they're projecting something from themselves onto you that they haven't quite healed from yet. And just hold that space for them. Just still have that love for them, because we're all on our own healing paths and journey, and we want to clear the old and move into the new version of ourselves that is more happy, full of love, and is authentic. So just keep being your authentic self, and don't let anybody pull you into past versions of yourself that no longer exist, because you know who you are right here, right now, in this day. And I just wanted to share that love with y'all. And just keep shining, keep moving forward, keep being your beautiful self, and keep connecting with your beautiful soul. Okay, bye.